Hey, welcome back to Ol'SargeCollects. My name's Dan. Recently, I was watching a video from those back pages, and Eric was showing a Liebig card. And I've also seen other videos from Doug over at Decons, and he was showing Liebig cards. And I have a number of these cards, and I've done a little bit of research on these cards. So I wanted to share some of the information that I have, some of the information I've learned on these cards, and I also want to share with you the cards that I have. So let's go ahead and talk about the Liebig Extract of Meat Company. In 1847, in his hometown of Gießen, Germany, Justus von Liebig developed a concentrated beef extract in hopes of providing a cheap and nutritious meat substitute. So I used to live near Gießen, Germany. I actually was stationed in Europe, stationed in Germany in a town called Hanau. And Hanau was, a couple of miles down the road from Gießen. And so I'm familiar with where Gießen is. So due to the high cost of meat in Europe, Liebig opened a plant in South America where beef was cheap and more plentiful. In 1865, the Liebig Extract of Meat Company was formed and based out of London, England. The company also operated offices in France, Germany, and Italy. In addition to meat extract, the company also ventured into canned corned beef and cookbooks. In 1872, the company began to include sets of trading cards featuring stories, historical characters, and sports. These cards were first produced using lithography, and then they eventually evolved into other forms. The sets usually consisted of 6 cards grouped around a particular theme. So here you have some of my cards, and I'm going to go ahead and share with you some of my oldest, and this kind of goes to show you how they were grouped. So here is a multi-sport set, and this set is from 1896, and so you can see how they were in an album. And so you've got, down here, you've got soccer, or as Europeans call it, football. Here you've got ice skating. This is my favorite card in this set, and this is of bicycling. And then you've got rowing. You've got horse racing, I guess. And then you've got lawn tennis here. And so this is a good example of how they would have been issued in sets of 6, and the lithography on these is absolutely gorgeous. And so they had different various subject matters as well. So for example, this comes from a set, and it talks about different states. And so this is the state of Texas, my home state, and it just gives some representation of maybe what Texas would look like back in the late 1800s. One way you can tell the difference between 1800s and 1900s, they use this back design, and where they have Liebig written in script across the back. And so this would be an example of an older version card, and I think it ended roughly around 1910. Anything after 1910 has a different back. So well, I really like this one. Unfortunately, they don't have a Louisiana that I know of, and because I currently live in Louisiana, so I'd like to find one of those as well. Now, these cards came in different languages as well. As I mentioned earlier, they had offices in France, they had offices in Italy, London, of course, and Germany. And so this set back here that I showed you before, those are done in, I believe that's German. No, I'm sorry, that's not German. That is Italian. This state card was done in English. And then here's another card that I have, and I've shown this card once before. This is another Liebig card, and this was done representing Volksfest, or Volks dancing is what it says. But basically you've got, I also lived in Bavaria when I lived in Germany. So I spent about 6 years in Germany. And so here's some Bavarians, doing their Volks dancing, dressed up in their lederhosen and dirndl, or dirndl. I'm sorry, dirndl is what the women, wear. And so the back on this card, though, is different. And you'll see that it doesn't have Liebig written across. So this one was done about after 1910 sometime. And so, yeah, that's just an example. It's also in German. So, like I said, this probably came from one of the field offices there in Germany. And then I've got another sporting set, and we know that this one is from 1951, and because this card came from this set, and this is the 1951 Liebig sports. I believe it's Sports of the World, and so this one represents baseball in America, and that is widely recognized as being Ted Williams. And so, in addition to that, they also, in the same set, because I bought this as a set, which leads me to another point. Oftentimes, if you buy some of these non-sports cards, it's easier to buy them in sets than it is single. So it also comes with this one, which is some sort of sledding. And then it also has this card, which talks about some gymnastics, I guess, or not gymnastics, but regular physical, type activities, stretching and whatnot. So then it also has a cricket card. I believe this is cricket. Again, all of these have the same back on them. So that Ted Williams card has the same back on it as well. And all of these are in Italian. So I've also got this one, which has polo. I really like this card in the set. I think there's a lot of good detail in the card. And then lastly, this soccer card. So these aren't the only multi-sport sets. There's, I think, another third one out there that I haven't seen the whole set of. I've only seen a bowling card and another soccer card in that set. So hopefully one day I'll find that set as well. But yeah, if you're interested in non-sports, probably the best way to go is to pick them up in full sets and then send singles in for grading. You can always you can always sell the rest of the set if you don't want the rest of the set. And so here's an introduction to the Liebig Extract of Meat Company. To finish this off, the Liebig Extract of Meat Company was eventually acquired and no longer produces products under the Liebig name. So clearly it went all the way until 1951. After that, I really couldn't track down the year that it was bought out. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed and learned something from this video. If you are at all interested in these cards, I highly recommend them. They're very beautiful cards with the lithography on them. And so until next time, y'all keep hunting the good stuff. Take care.